Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. About meditation, so Omkara meditation we have done. Maybe necessary we can repeat it one more time. You need a lot of practice for the pranayama. That rhythm you should acquire by practicing for a week or two. And tomorrow maybe we will try some other meditation which is based on the teaching that is going on. No planning is there. It anyway happens on this part. We'll do like that.
Swamiji, does Omkara meditation invoke dispassion in a person?
Sure, certainly. It would. It is considered to be an important way of cultivating dispassion.
Isn't it, Swamiji, if you do Om, just chanting of Om, they say that you will go towards sannyasa much faster?
Take the spirit of that statement. Means it helps you to gain dispassion, which we need in a...
Absolutely.
Therefore, we will do like that. Then now I will try to answer a few questions. How to handle a migraine attack? So, and it is there for a long time, and it has become a part and parcel of life. The pain is difficult to bear. I mean, it becomes an obstacle for attending camps and traveling, etc. Even witnessing pain doesn't really help. Yeah, after a point, witnessing the pain doesn't help. You see, you should first respect the illness. If it doesn't permit travel, you should stop traveling. You should respect the illness. It applies to me, to anybody. Especially it applies to the gurus. They should respect the illness. Take every precaution not to fall sick or to become sick. But once you become sick, you respect the sickness. And so, if the migraine attack is so severe that travel is painful, you should be able to stop the travel. But the fact that you are not able to stop the travel for any reason shows there is a gulf between the body and the mind. Mind is ambitious and greedy, whereas body has a limitation. The old people have this problem because the body becomes weaker and weaker, mind becomes greedier and greedier. The trashna, whatever trashna it is. So we should respect it. We should respect the illness. I say that in particularly because when you are not able to attend in camps and when you are not able to travel, you should respect and stop at traveling and stop attending camps. Stay at home and have a TV and YouTube, and you can sit at home and listen to the chosen classes. Need not be real time, whatever. And too much of Shravanam is not necessary. 1 hour per day is more than enough. And then pick up a nice book and read for 30-40 minutes and do meditation. You are doing very great. You don't need anything more than that. We need not become professional listeners. Not necessary. So this is one idea one advice which came to the mind immediately after reading it. Then witnessing will help in a small, when the pain is less, not when it is very acute. But still I would suggest you do not resist the illness psychologically. Because when you resist the illness psychologically, how the resistance would be? Why me? I lived a life of dharma. and yet I am getting punished by God. So this kind of sentimental resistance, meaningless resistance. And then why can't I have some peaceful life? Why should it come and hurt me? That kind of this me-centric resistance, psychological resistance, you should avoid. And okay, it is there, and I will try to live with it as well as I can. That must be the attitude, so that the distress will not be there. The resistance leads to distress, emotional distress. That will not be there. Only migraine will be there. Migraine plus emotional distress is no good. So still you practice that, non-resistance. That you cultivate, and consult a good physician immediately. So a threefold advice for this.
There are some newer drugs for migraine.
Yeah.
Sumatriptan and some second generation drugs.
Yeah.
If the neurologist that they have already seen has not suggested, they have to go for
They have to, so you have to do some such thing.
Swamiji, whosoever wrote this question, if they want to talk to me after the camp,
Please do that.
I have some answers for it.
Yeah, please do that. Yeah, please do that.
Medicines and all.
Yeah. So in medicine, some very good molecules are available. It is always a trade-off. Some side effect will always be there. The molecules are like that. It is a trade-off, and therefore doctors know the side effects also. They take all that into account while prescribing a medicine. So, and I will tell you one thing: if you are in 30s, 40s, 50s, you should be more concerned. You should be rather concerned about the side effects. What are the side effects? What impact they will have on the long run? You have to consult. If a person like me, why should I bother about side effects? If you have a short life left, be happy and have a tablet and be happy. If side effect comes, let it come. By the time side effect comes, one may not be around. So in principle, after 70, nowadays the age has increased also, the lifespan, 72, 73, up to that you may be a little concerned about side effect. After that, forget about side effect. You need it, take it. I talked with a psychiatrist. He was my good friend, and I was discussing a psychiatric problem of a patient with him. I went to visit the patient, and at that time some discussion came with him, and I asked him, suppose you give this medicine, the person may develop a habit forming medicine, it could be. He said, you developed a habit for food or not? Look at that. You developed a habit for food, and so did you stop it? You developed a habit for coffee, habit for tea. So habit forming, let it form habit, you take it. So when there is an illness and there is a solution, and there are a few side effects, you have to carefully consider all the pros and cons, and take the medicine as advised by the physician. Notice that daily the Bhandara, it is a question about Bhandara, 100 Swamis. Why are there no women Swami included in that? The ladies don't like to get and sit there and eat, they don't like. Ladies Swamis, Swaminis, they won't join that crowd. They feel shy, and therefore that is how a lady is. All these men, they are very rugged and very crude. Crude means not in a psychological sense. Their dresses, their habits, their talk, their beating on the back of each other. That is a crowd, and a woman may not want to join the crowd. In India, certainly in India. In India, even now, In classes, the women and men sit separately. Now you need not do that. Just I am telling. Even now they do that. Therefore, no lady Swamini will be willing to join that crowd and take bhiksha. They won't. So it is a matter of practicality. In fact, ladies becoming Swaminis itself is a recent development. The society has yet to get accustomed to that completely. Nowadays, the society is slowly accepting a lady Swami. Really. Therefore, this is a conventional society, and so it is the choice, more the choice of the ladies not to join that kind of a crowd. Of course, if a lady comes and sits there, nobody will stop, but no lady will come and sit in that crowd. What is the significance of giving ₹100 to each Swami? You see, if you go outside, the small shops are there. All are petty shops, very small shops. Their turnover per day may not cross 500 rupees, that kind of shops. And all these 100 rupees will go to those shops. The economy of Rishikesh, not only Rishikesh, Uttarakhand, is entirely sustained by ashrams and their activities. Almost completely sustained by ashrams and their activities. And one of the important activities of the ashrams have many activities. One of the important, rather very simple and very at the ground level activity, not very sophisticated activity. Some ashrams have very sophisticated activities, not like that, very simple. So at a very ground level, a simple Swamis, you have seen the crowd, what kind of crowd it is. For them 100 rupees is a good amount. If not all of them, but many of them, it's a good amount. And the food they like. They have one or two dishes particularly they like. And they come and eat. And up to nightfall they don't eat anything mostly. So that is the spirit of that Bhandara. And people in India give Annadanam is a very standard practice. In every ritual it is there. Therefore people have a value for it. And ashram gets its own benefit in the sense that not only those 100 Swamis are fed by the Bhandara guy, who sponsors Bhandara. He gives food to all the other Swamis also who are not there within the premises. And we all get dakshina. So this is how.
Swamiji, with regards to the Bhandara, would it be more advisable for a sadhak to involve in that anonymously rather than in order not to foster the Kartrutvam and the egoity?
Yeah, you are right. It is better done anonymously than doing it with the name announced and all that. But from the ashram side, they leave the choice to the sponsor. The sponsor has to select. Sometimes on the board you must have seen, the other day there was a student of Swami Tattvavidananda like that. I did not know who is that student. So they did not want to write their name, whosoever it is. So sometimes Puja Swamiji is a student, only that much is written. Sometimes name is written. Both situations are there. But certainly not writing the name is a better option. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche. That is the Chandi mantra. Durga mantra. But they call it Chandi mantra. Durga Chandi. So the Bija mantra of the Vedic Gayatri mantra, you see, it is not Vedic, it is Puranic. It came from Durga Saptashati, from Markandeya Purana. And then it is a part and parcel of Tantra. Mantra is part of Tantra. Mantra, Tantra, Yantra, they go together. All Khan Pratyayas for the Dhatu. So it is a part of that thing. that kind of mental worship. It is partly mental, partly ritualistic also. And it is not Gayatri mantra. So if you have Gayatri mantra, be satisfied with it. You don't need such a different kind of mantras. It is a good mantra. If you are still doing it or you want to do it, you are welcome. But na Gayatriya param mantram, na matuh paradaivatam. So if you have Gayatri, stay with Gayatri, that is enough. And Om Namah Shivaya, very simple. And the Bija mantras, they are called Bija mantras because Him, Shrim, etc. they are there. Some meaning is also given. There is a meaning to all that. Like a Hrim, I told you earlier, Hari, Hara, Hrim, Rahim, Harate, Haradayam. All the 6 words they are derived from single verb. And all the 6 words have the same meaning also. That is about Harim. Kleem is also something similar to that.
Swamiji, what is a Bija mantra?
Bija is a syllable. See, Bija is syllable, no meaning. Sometimes these Bija mantras are called meaningless mantras. They are called like that. There is no meaning. The seed doesn't have any definitive or well-defined features. Everything is included in it, nothing is visible. That is the seed. That is the bija. Whereas Om Namah Shivaya, it is not bija. Namaha means prostration unto Shiva, Lord Shiva. It is not bija. It is a statement. There is a mantra definition like that. Mantra must be full vakyam. Then only it becomes mantra. So, sometimes you come across a verse, I come across a verse, Chaturthi Vibhaktis, no Namaha, no nothing. There are incomplete Vakya. So, Raghavendra Swami, some prayer is there like that. So, some Namaha should be there. There is no Namaha. Because by the time he filled all the attributes, there is no place left for Namaha. That kind of a verse it is. So the mantra should not be like that. It must be a complete sentence. Whereas in Bija mantras, the meaning doesn't matter. Therefore, no words, no sentences. Then why you should say all the words and the sentences are included in it, hidden in it. That's why it is called Bija. That is how the mantras are.
Swamiji, these mantras should be recited inside or just they can just...
They say both. We are coming to that. Yeah, it will come, some discussion will come. Difference between Maya and Avidya, one and the same in one context. But if Maya is used in the context of Ishvara, that is the Saguna Brahmopasana. In the Saguna Brahma, devotee versus Ishvara, the division is accepted provisionally. But there is a division. And in that context, Avidya of Jiva, Maya of Ishvara. But if the context is of Jiva and the word Maya is used, but often it is used like that, then Maya is same as Avidya. And in one place Shankara used Maya, instead of Maya, he used Avidya to Ishvara. Now what will you do now? Which means he considers Maya as a Vidya only, even in the case of Ishvara. And he has a logic for it. Ishvara is the Hiranyagarbha. The Hiranyagarbha, he was afraid. So bibhed. Therefore some avidya must be there. Without avidya, how fear will be there? Saha naramata. He felt lonely. Avidya. Now you said Maya, then Maya is avidya even for Ishvara. Therefore, we say Maya for Ishvara, avidya for Jiva. We say like that, but you don't push us too far. Then we may say this to that and that to this. Don't conclude anything. No conclusions are accepted. Leave it open. Because you conclude Maya is Ishvara and Avidya is Jiva. Then Shankara, you just say Avidya is Ishvara. Now you have to go and sit on it. Therefore, don't conclude, keep open. Mula Vidya. Why so many arguments around it? You see, there was a great Mahatma, one of the stunningly great scholars of Vedanta. Not only scholar, a very great savant who lived a very pious life and a kingpin of Vedantins by name Swami Sachidanandendra Sanyami. They call Sanyami. That is the title given to him by people. His scholarship is amazing. They take us the Tippanis which he writes or something. They lead you in Upanishad Bhashyas. They are like a torchlight, help you very much in understanding Bhashyakara. However, he pulled out a thesis and he espoused it and he started pushing it further and further and further. You see, normally there is ignorance, avidya. And then out of ignorance, you end up in some confusion. Ignorance, confusion. You are ignorant of the rope and therefore you are confused that it is a serpent. So avidya, arajnanam and brahmaha. Ajnanam doesn't hurt, brahma hurts. Because in sleep you have ajnanam, you don't know anything, it doesn't hurt you. But you wake up, the ajnana gives birth to brahma. And that hurts you. So like that there is a description. This is going on in the literature. You find it in the literature. I have seen it. In Prastaratra Bhashya Shankara also. You just that kind of. He gives a hint in that direction. Sometimes even. It is an overt hint or an extra, in a very explicit way also he may say. There are occasions like that. Then Sureshwara you just said. And then Gaudapada Karikas, Agrahanam and Anyatha Agrahanam. Agrahanam is Ajnana, Anyatha Agrahanam is Brahma. Both are used, Karana, Karya, that kind of expressions also are used. Karya Karana Baddham, like that there are verses. And therefore there is every reason to understand that Ajnana is there, which gives birth to Brahma. This is the structure which is followed by people for hundreds of years. But Swami Sachidananda Sanyami, he is such a great scholar, he opposed this thesis. He says Ajnana is not there, only Brahma is there. No, Brahma comes from Ajnana, then the Ajnana becomes Mula. Mula means Karana. Now Brahma is Karya, Ajnana Karya. Ajnana is Brahma Karana. There is a word called Tula. Tula is Karyam. So Brahma is called Tula, Ajnanam. And Ajnanam is Mula Ajnanam. This is how people talk. And Sachidananda Sanyami says there is no Ajnana, there is only Brahma. In Sushupti also there is no Ajnana. Generally we say in Sushupti Anando Brahma and Ajnana. He says there is no and Ajnana, only Anando Brahma. That is what Sushupti is. And there is no Mula Jnana. There is only now when there is no Mula Jnana, then there is no point calling it Tula Jnana. Only Brahma. Confusion or delusion alone is there. This is his thesis. And he is such a great scholar. He propped up this thesis on an elaborate logical structure. And therefore that is standing there. Some people believe that they have demolished it. I don't know. Just beating on the There is a proverb, beating on the ant hill doesn't kill the serpent. So you may push some arguments against it, but it still remains there. In fact, he wrote a book called Mula Jnana Nirasaha. Now, some people took cudgels against this thesis. No, it cannot be. We will fight it out like that. Then people ask me, what do you do? I am a very simple type. I don't take any stand on these issues. Sachidananda Swami, I have greatest devotion and respect to him, because when I was teaching Kena, his tika tippani, it takes my hand and takes me forward. I feel that way. When his tippani is sitting there, I have all the courage to take Kena. Similarly, Taittiriya also is like that. His tippani and Vishnu Devananda Giri tippani for Brihadaranyaka Chandogya Katha, these two tippanis are the gem of tippanis most useful for the teachers. Now, how far it is useful for the students, I don't know, because one should have very deep, solid grounding in Sanskrit to understand these things. And these students, their Sanskrit is a very mediocre Sanskrit, and therefore the tika, they may not be able to appreciate the value of the tika. The Sanskrit may not be enough. Of course, there are but the exceptions to what I said. Therefore, it's a great tika, helpful for the tika guru nam guruhu. That statement applies completely with reference to these two tikas. One coming from Kailas Ashram, earlier Swamis, and the other from Sachidananda Sanyami. But this particular thesis, that Mula Jnana Nirasaha, doesn't seem to be very important. Now, is it rational or not? I don't know. It looks like irrational, but my knowledge is not enough to declare that as irrational. In fact, I am not willing to come to any conclusion about it. I avoid conclusions. Just leave it like that. When I teach, I don't follow that. I follow only. I asked my father. He said, why do you worry about all that? You follow what the Ajnana and Brahma. That model you follow. That is good enough. Sachidananda Swami, you need not form a judgment about him. Leave him alone. That is the advice given by him. He also did not want to say anything against such a great saintly person. So this is all that prime mover puts these controversies into the society. And as Sri Ramana Maharshi said, as long as there is creation, there is world, there will be disputations. Okay? And so you rise above that. In Saddarshanam it came in one verse. Therefore, that is already I have answered a lot more than required. That is where I stand. Means I don't have a stand. That is the stand. I always felt that so much disputation, so much hair splitting about ajnana is unnecessary. Ajnana hai na? It is ajnana. So why you want to find the antecedents of ajnana? You better get rid of it. Is scholarship mandatory for a student? Then why he is a student? A student must be studious and acquire knowledge. And if the student has to become a teacher in the future, then certainly scholarship is essential. Otherwise, you will be having all kinds of people teaching not knowing properly. So, I have encountered one person teaching Gita. Good, he is teaching Gita. Gita verses are simple verses. It doesn't require much Sanskrit. And Bhashya, etc. may require more difficult Sanskrit. If you want to study Kalidasa, you require deeper Sanskrit. For Gita verses, you don't need that much Sanskrit. Very simple working knowledge of Sanskrit is enough. But this guy doesn't even have that much knowledge. How do I know? Somebody asked, how do you know? I said, don't ever ask that question. I know. You know, how do I know? He read the verse. Now I know he doesn't have vibhakti jnana. Over. How do you, when you cook rice, how do you know that it is cooked? How do you know? You know it, that's all. So, therefore, there must be scholarship to teach some of these texts. If you don't want to teach, then you may not need scholarship. The vision should be enough. So you may want to work in that direction. But if you want to teach, then you have to acquire some scholarship without fail. Also, you engage the brain cells in acquiring some knowledge and scholarship that will keep the brain cells active and healthy. The grey matter remains in good shape and its volume also remains intact. You never use the head. You use the head only to fight, not to think. That is, Bhagavan has not given horns to our heads. Why? Because he doesn't want us to use heads to fight. Use heads, not to fight. Use heads to think. That's why horns are removed. Therefore, you want to think, you have to think. You have to learn. Therefore, take up the challenge of scholarship in a particular topic and acquire scholarship. Develop that excellence that keeps your neurological systems very strong and healthy. Some of the diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's, etc., won't come to people who engage the brain cells fully. So, there is a good reason for being scholarly. To lead a spiritual life in the midst of normal hustle and bustle. India is a lot of hustle and bustle, true. They call it like that, hustle and bustle. Spelling is STLE. A lot of hustle and bustle is there in India. Indian society is like that, a lot of population. And in the midst of all this hustle and bustle, you should lead a spiritual life. That is what it is going on. Good. How can increase my earnestness? There is no how for some of these things. You see, when you love a thing, you will be very earnest about it. Like, you examine yourself how earnest we were to make money, to practice a profession and make money. Then we were very earnest in building a home, owning a home, and having children. And nowadays, there is so much earnestness to own a vehicle, like a four-wheeler. We can do with a cycle that keeps us healthy also. No, we want to own a four-wheeler. We are very earnest about it. Then what method you follow to gain that earnestness? There is no method. Whatever you love, you call it love or attachment, whatever name you give to it. Wherever your love or attachment is, your earnestness will come automatically in that direction. Therefore, I am saying something because I don't have a direct answer to the question how to acquire that earnestness. I would rather say you must be saturated with the world and its sufferings. That saturation must be there. You should learn from the pain that is there in the life. Pain teaches, unlike pleasure. Pleasure makes us blind. Pain teaches some of the truths of life. And therefore, when you are saturated with the life, that's why very immature youngsters are not encouraged to come to Vedanta class. Because they are immature. and then they don't know proper Sanskrit. They don't have enthusiasm to develop the knowledge of Sanskrit. They will be blabbering a lot of things here and there. And they eat a lot of tasty and good food. And those are in Brahma Sutra class. This kind of youngsters, they are unfit for Vedanta, I tell you. I don't know why I said that. So I must have seen some of such a tribe. Therefore, you don't want to be like that. You want to have earnestness to know the truth of the self. And you have every reason to pursue the self-knowledge with all the earnestness that you can muster, because the alternative is worldly life, which is poisonous, very toxic, very painful. It hurts us, it mars our cheers, it does so much harm. So you see, that kind of a saturation with the worldliness, if it is there with you, then you will be earnest in the pursuit of self-knowledge.
Vairagya.
Yeah, Vairagya. You see, people come to Vedanta, you know why they come to Vedanta? A few of them, quite a few of them maybe, but the exceptions are always there. They study Vedanta seeking self-fulfillment. Most dangerous thing it is. They are not seeking self-knowledge, capital S, self-knowledge. They are seeking small s fulfillment. Many of them. Not only the students of Vedanta, some of these charity people, philanthropists, so why do they do social service at all? What could be the reason? Self-fulfillment. Self is small s. Therefore, they study Vedanta for self-fulfillment. They remain ignorant. They may yet become a scholar of Vedanta, but remain ignorant of the self. Charity also practiced for self-fulfillment. It may give you some virtue, which takes to heaven and brings back later. It doesn't uplift you to the level of self-knowledge like Tattvavidananda does. So many of them study Vedanta for self-fulfillment. They don't get the required earnestness because the focus is elsewhere. Sometimes they are unconscious, unbeknownst to them. They don't know that they are studying Vedanta for self-fulfillment. They don't know that. Somebody has to shake up and tell. That's why you should love a guy who is shaking up. You should love the guy. If you silence that guy, you have done an injustice to yourself. Suppose the person is shaking you up for good reason, you should welcome it. Suppose he is shaking you up, but the shaking is not required for you. It's all right. You can bear with it for a while. But you silence the guy, that is a loss. So the earnestness, you have to find it in you. It comes. How earnest you are while counting 100 rupee notes. So like that. So I don't know whether I have answered the question. I have blabbered something. See whether you find some answer in it. I have difficulty remaining in the I am awareness all the time. Need not be. Need not be. Don't make it difficult by saying it is difficult. You are the I am before you are anything else. Before you feel yourself as a father of a young man, you are the I am. Before you look at yourself as a devotee of the God, you are the I am. You are the I am before anything else. So why do you say you are not able to be the I am? You are the I am before anything else. Sometimes just to be the I am, you may not be able to do because of that inner pressure of the mind. Mind is like a pressure cooker. And so it needs to wander. That is the habit of the mind. So we will address that issue sometime. Therefore, you need not be in I am awareness all the time. You don't be so much judgmental about your own self. Be kind to yourself, no harm.